Welcome, true readers, to another review. I am Michael for Spirit Comics. This is Hulk number 5. Now, like the previous issue, Jen Walters does not turn into She-Hulk, but this story has more meat to it. There's more plot, I believe, to this story. Plus, the cover does give us a hint of how she will be changing. As you notice, it's not green now, it's gray. Now, in the background, I think this is supposed to be some blank sky. I'm not sure why it's white, and maybe that's a wall or something, but we can definitely see some gravel that's flying up into the air because she's smashing the ground. In the story, it doesn't immediately pick up where the previous one left off, but this is deconstructed part 5. It starts with a little bit of a backstory. This is shortly after Civil War II, a story that I did not get to read except for the tie-ins with Spider-Woman, a series long since canceled. It says, before in the hospital, out of the woods, post-war, whatever that means. She's thinking change. It's hard to nail down exactly when you know that things are screwed up for the permanent. And there's Jim Walters in her hospital bed. She has a visitor. It's Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. Jen, I just wanted to let you know anything we can do, I can do to make this easier, to help you, whatever you need. Everyone has been through a lot, and especially, you especially, and I, yes, of course, Carol, Carol is, trying to be a good friend, and she's thinking, a really awkward conversation with a friend is a good indication that the universe is not what it was, at least for you. She says, I know what you're saying, and I appreciate the visit, and I'm fine. I just want to go home. And Captain Marvel says, okay, and when you know what you want to do, I'm still going to practice. There's a law firm. I'm going to do that. Right, yes, if that's the plan for now, Jennifer says. Okay, right, and she puts the flowers down, says, take care of yourself, Jen, and no, if you need, I'm going to be, she says. Of course, at that moment, she's kind of lying to herself. I'm going to be totally fine. She's still in the hospital, suffering from a huge concussion after the battle with Thanos. So she's just lying to herself. And she leaves, saying, I'll be in touch. And look at the expression on Jen's face. It's not one of gratitude, but it's one of sort of like, just like, let me be. Just, it doesn't have to be. And Carol doesn't really know what to say. Jennifer says, sure. And just closes her eyes and wants to be alone. Then the door shuts. And she thinks, another good sign. Then she hears this voice. She's the good soldier. So who's that voice coming from? Da-da-da-da! Some people are good at war. I prefer science. Bruce! Her cousin, David Bruce Banner. Wow, okay, I never thought I would be the kind of person who gets visited by a ghost. He smiles and says, am I a ghost? Well, you are dead, so... He says, the world is full of unexpected things, even for people like us. That's true, the world is full of unexpected stuff. She says, I feel like an idiot. I'm a frickin' superhero, but I'm eating pudding and watching Judge Judy. I should be out there doing something at least a little bit super. No matter what happens, Jen, everything's going to be okay. What does that mean? She says. Everything's going to be okay. And she thinks, no, it's not. I have to go now, Jen. But remember, something's trying to give her a little bit of ray of hope. It might be just, her mind playing tricks. I'm always here, he says. She thinks, change. Now everything's not okay. You're not okay. No. And all of a sudden he comes flying back. Bruce, no. I'm not okay. She falls to the floor, grappling her stomach. Code green. A nurse sees her. No one is okay, Jennifer thinks. And so then the orderlies smash down her room. And then they see, and they jump in and see her going crazy. I'm not sure if she actually turned into She-Hulk then or not, but she's thinking, oh, I'm sorry. Were you expecting something more profound? Look at me. Kind of hard to be profound when your brain is exploding. Stop! I'm going to need George. Tell George to get the gear. So now what? And this is present day, Maze Bruin's apartment building, New York City. She was in Maze Bruin's apartment talking to her. This, for the moment, this is obviously bad, because she gets thrown out of her apartment, literally, crash. She looks down and sees this weird creature coming up. Crap. Now the level of art is basically the same, but it's better because there's more action to go along with this issue. There's more stuff happening. First she's telling us about what happened when she was in the hospital, and now she's showing us what's happening currently at the apartment of Maze Bruin. This weird creature has come out of nowhere. At least that's what she thinks. There's a woman at the firm who takes the stairs because she needs to get her steps in for the day. Because exercise is the key to good mental health. Not sure how that's helpful information right at the moment. Yeah, especially when you're being chased by a monster like that. And then outside, she's outside on the roof. And she's out of breath. What the hell is going on? And then the voice inside her head, it's like not her own voice. It's, someone talking back to her. Her mind does that from time to time. It says, you're being chased by a monster. He looks back and just says, right. That is a long jump. You can't run, Jen. It's Maze Bruin. You're here in our world, and we are protected here, she says. Now, I like this outside view of the apartment. It shows, the two women confronting each other, at least for the moment. Protected? Because we have to be, because of how the world is. And I have the feeling that something more could have been done with this storyline, that it could have been tied into the X-Men somehow. I thought Ray was a good person, she says. He seemed like a good person. He wasn't. He sent men to hurt me. He hid his bad, and I didn't see it till that night I saw him under his mask, his monster. And so her eyes are vacant, and she's still talking to Jen, and Maze is the one in control here. She says, it hides everywhere the badness of this world and people like you. I'm sorry I didn't protect you, Maze. I'm sorry that this is happening to you, but this, whatever this is not. I have no choice, she says. We have no choice. We, she says. We've confirmed the bodies were Stewart and Maxwell, because if you remember in the previous issue, I didn't go over it much, but they were still researching those two detectives that went missing. And for this time frame, it was like a day ago. They were investigating the case. Dick? A murder Vic found mashed into the street about 24 hours ago. See, I said a day. Damn it. Push these people back another 2 blocks. And get access to that building now. Right. Now, normally, I would think an officer would say, yes, sir. But of course, she looks up at the building and sees that it's covered in these black type vines. And this is Maze speaking again. When we found it, we knew we were finally going to be safe. It was so small, but I helped it grow. And now it will help us, because, and I believe she's referring to that creature that looks like vines encircling the building. And this artwork here is pretty good. You know, the detail is the structure of the building, and showing us that it is in fact getting dark there in New York City at the nighttime, and it does show us some snow falling. That's kind of nice. And then all of these other tenants, at least one of them's a tenant. That one and that one. I don't know about the rest of them. They all show up out of nowhere. The world is a horrible place. It keeps getting worse, and no one cares. It is worse, much worse. Cruelty everywhere you go. We are not safe. Well, nobody's safe, really, when you think about it. And Jennifer says, you're right. Okay? The world is a crappy place to be. A lot of the time. But this, whatever this is, you can't just get a gigantic black gooey creature to make it all better. Trust me on this. That's not true. And Maze down here says, this is our protection, our only hope in the world. She says, that's not true. There's so much more. Hope is everywhere. Maze looks at her darkly and says, even you don't believe that. And there's these weird creatures. I thought there was only one of them, but look, there's several standing behind him. And then a big one just lunges forward. And Jennifer thinks, okay, yes, hope. Hope seems very far away right now. And Maze is starting to look hopeful. Okay, maybe I don't, she says. Because when you're faced with a big old monster like that, you're scared. And she's thinking to herself, so what happens now? Just be the thing that can defeat whatever this is. In other words, she's telling herself it's time to change into the beast that I am. I'm not changing. Why am I not changing? Something about hope? Hey, voice, any soothing words of optimism? Nothing from the voice inside her head. And she just thinks, great. We will be safe, Maze says. And she's looking so happy now. And this big old creature is coming out of nowhere and hits Jennifer across the back. And he says, this will be your end. No! And then her eyes fly open wider than they were. No matter what, no matter what happens, Jen, everything's going to be okay. She remembers the words of her cousin, David Bruce Banner. Change, she thinks. And then, look at her eyes. That's the beginning of her metamorphosis. Everything's not okay. I'm not okay. No one is okay. To be continued. Now, I really liked the artwork in this one. It's basically the same as the previous issue, but the shading, I think, is better. The coloring is slightly better and more realistic, I think. When the tones of, like, right here appear more human and like it appears more flesh-like. Well, this is probably a better example right here. Appears like a real person. Whereas when they go back to the present, everything seems a lot worse. Now, even Jen seems better. The tone of her skin seems better in the present. But then some of the people, those weirdos that attacked her on the roof, their skin just doesn't seem quite right. Maybe it's the shading, I don't know. But overall, this was a better issue, I thought. And this series only lasted for 11 issues. But Jennifer Walters is not gone. She lives on. So, till next time, true readers, I am Michael for Spirit Comics. Please do subscribe to my channel. Smash the bell like She-Hulk. Like the video and do share it with others so they can enjoy it as well. Till next time.